So there are some mysterious things in the world and some not so mysterious things in the world. The thing that's not so mysterious and that is pretty straightforward is that if you want something, you work for it and you go after it. There's really no way around doing the work. It doesn't matter how much you sage your house, how much you clean your house every day, if you take the right bubble bath, or if you're using the right lemon scent in your diffuser. It doesn't matter how much you do those things. It's not gonna make $1,000 appear in your bank account. You have to do the work. You have to do the actions that lead to that. But here is the oh so magical part. As soon as you start doing the work, doors begin opening for you along the way. Haven't you ever been through some sort of struggle, but everything had a way of working itself out? But you probably noticed it didn't begin to start working itself out until you actually started addressing the problem. So that's the mysterious part, is that the universe rewards effort. I'm not sure how it knows that we're putting in effort, but it sure as hell knows. So I have a really kind of crazy and funny story to support this idea, but I first want to say just a way that I've recently even seen this in my best friend's life. My best friend is going to university for interior design, and she was out at a furniture store shopping for, you guessed it, furniture. And she just struck up conversation with the lady that was working there and ended up exchanging contact information and got an interview for a potential internship position at that company to turn into a potential full-time position after she graduated. That opportunity, I wholeheartedly believe, wouldn't have landed in her lap like that if she wasn't putting in the effort and if her life right now wasn't all geared towards that goal. She is super laser focused on that goal. And as a result, the universe rewards that laser-like focus and opens up these doors. Sorry, I just spazzed out for a second right there. So would these same opportunities have crossed her path if she was just sitting there thinking and hoping to be an interior designer one day? No, you can't just sit and think and hope and sage and meditate. So with all of that being said, you can't fake effort. You can't. The universe knows. But once you do put in that effort, it's like a door opens that wasn't there before. This is the magical part. The straightforward part is you have to put in effort. You have to put in the work. The magical part is that once you start putting in the work, you'll start to notice these synchronicities, running into the right person at the right time. But we got to remember that it's not about perfect. We don't have to wake up every day and be perfect at whatever goal it is that we're trying to accomplish. We just have to put effort towards it. You're going to feel like you're crawling. Soon you're walking, and then you will be running. So the universe is always pushing things around, even if we can't see it. Think of it as like a chaotic whirlwind of energy, and but that somehow all together fits in perfect harmony. And when you do something, it shifts it a little bit. I know I'm getting really passionate about this. It's so hard to explain, but think of it as that. Every time you do something, you're impacting that whirlwind in a way and shifting it, kind of like a game of Tetris. It's all connected. It's all one. It all fits together. And once you begin putting genuine effort in, the whirlwind kind of moves around in a very mysterious way. Like I said earlier, think of it as a game of Tetris trying to fit itself together perfectly. And once you put an effort, you are literally pulling that end result closer to you on a magnetic and spiritual level. And the universe is always working in your favor, even if you can't see it. If you're sitting here on your phone and you're wishing you were doing something else, this is the perfect moment. This moment is perfect because eventually, next day you're going to be sitting on your phone again and again and again and again. And one day you're going to get sick of it. The universe is pushing you towards that state of being, which is being sick and tired of your own shit, so that way you can make change. The mysterious part is that it benefits the universe if you're in a positive state, and if you're vibrating higher, because that makes everything else vibrate higher. The universe wants you to vibrate higher. So even if you are going through some sort of struggle, we need to shift our thinking from why is this happening to me to why is this happening for me? Think of any challenge that crosses your path as like a level in a video game that you have to defeat, and after you get past that level, you're like a better character. Because life is always going to be throwing curveballs, and it's literally for you to make you better and to make you stronger, even if you can't see it. The universe is always working in your favor. Didn't get that job, didn't get that promotion. I know this is corny. Didn't get this, didn't get that, didn't get whatever it is. It's for you, and it's pushing you in a better direction. God, I'm getting so passionate. The universe is always pushing. Everything is always pushing itself around. It's always pushing you towards something. And I think it's important to remember, and something that's really helped me is everything is always happening exactly as it should. You got into a car accident rather than thinking like, oh, I should have turned at this point. Nope. It happened exactly as it should. It wasn't supposed to happen ever any other way. So take a look at your situation. If it's not so ideal, remember, ask yourself not, why is this happening to me? And ask yourself, why is this happening for me? And reframing your struggles through the lens of a video game can help you cultivate a more positive mindset. But life is tough, and it's supposed to be, and it's the human condition to struggle in some way. And so we have to reframe how we look at that struggle. I want to end this video by kind of telling a funny story. I don't even have any notes prepared for this, but I got a new car, but I wasn't in this car a week ago. Yeah, a week. On Monday, my car exploded, my other car. And the story that I want to share is, it's kind of funny, but it just shows, I feel like it was just a prime example of how I had a goal and the universe just magically pulled through. I was in the process of buying a new car and couldn't find the right deal. So time is kind of going by looking for a new car. My car is like falling apart at this point. And I get to the point where I probably have like 3 miles left to drive on my car when I find the perfect deal that's a few hours away from the town that I'm in. So I probably only have a few miles left to drive on my car when I find the perfect deal in Miami. I'm gonna put like a little map right here so that way it makes sense. The story makes a little bit more sense. But anyways, I have a few miles left on my car, find the perfect deal in Miami. They say they'll give $1,000 for my car for trade-in value. I needed that $1,000. I had a 2011 BMW 328i. Good condition, other than the fact that like the engine was falling apart, but they were gonna give $1,000 for it. And so I was like, I'm gonna get it there. So to give you some perspective, my car was in Orlando, because I had left it in Orlando because that's where I was car shopping. I don't live in Orlando anymore. I live in Daytona. But my car was in Orlando, and I needed to get it to Miami by the next day. So my plan was, so I went with my friend accompanied me on this adventure, Dusty, and our plan was to put like a bunch of really, really thick oil in the car in hopes that it could like coat the engine and get me a few hours to Miami. That was the plan. And so we put the high mileage thick oil in the car. For those of you that don't know, because I didn't really know cars at all, like probably 6 months ago, but like cars obviously take oil, fun fact, crazy fact. And if you put thicker oil in it, it coats the parts that are going like this. It lubes them up better. Let's just put it that way. It gives it some good lube. So that was our plan. And we drive about 30 minutes, and then I'm on the phone with my friend because he's following close behind me on the freeway. You know, at a certain point, he's like, pull over. And I knew that I had to pull over because my car was clearly smoking, and I clearly felt the engine explode. So we pull over to the side. We thankfully, this is one way like the universe magically pulled through. We magically broke down on a part of the freeway that was like, it wasn't like a little skinny like divot. It was like a huge underpass. Like there was highway patrol there. Like I literally broke down in the safest spot that I could have. So I'm looking up how much a tow is from there to Miami, and it's over $1,000, right? Which obviously exceeds the cost of the trade-in value. But my friend knew a guy, just happened to know a guy that apparently tows European vehicles. Who says that? When have you ever been in a situation when you needed a tow and someone's like, I know a guy, and that guy just shows up like the same day, you know? So that was a door. Like, I'm telling you, I was so dedicated. Car is getting to that BMW dealership, and I got an affordable tow. It was only a few $100. I'm still making a profit. He said he would tow it to Miami for $300. So I'll show you the tow truck here. It was a interesting tow. I'm so grateful, but definitely interesting. So anyways, we get to the BMW dealership in Miami. By the time I get to the BMW dealership to drop off the car, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. And we're thinking, once we get there, we'll drop it off, middle of the night, no one will see anything. They'll see the car in the morning. Maybe they won't ask any questions. That's what we're thinking. Because I just found this car online. I didn't really know what kind of BMW dealership we were going to. BMW dealerships that I had been to had been just like way smaller, less secure, just, you know what I mean? But this place was huge and all blocked off, so there was no way we were getting in there, we realized. And so we dropped it off at the Walgreens that was 50 feet away at 5 in the morning. And we're like, we'll take care of this in the morning. We're so tired. We're just like, let's go back home and then back on the road. And that's what we did. And on the road back to Miami, I'm trying to wrap my head around how I am going to get my car 50 feet to BMW. And hopefully they don't notice, you know, that's kind of what I'm hoping at this point. And so me and my friend Dusty were talking, and he's just like, you know what? We're just going to drive. We're going to go to your car at Walgreens. We're going to start it. It's going to start smoking. And we're just going to pull up to BMW and pretend like we don't notice anything, that everything's fine. Don't make eye contact with anyone, that kind of thing. And so I'm trying to work my way around this because, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to arrive as low key as possible. So I'm like, what if we call another tow truck, because it would be like an $80 tow, and just tow it into the BMW dealership and just, you know, say something along the lines like we didn't want to drive it. So I'm kind of like, as we're driving to Miami, it's a long drive, I'm like accepting this fate that I'm gonna pull up out of a puff of smoke, and I'm just like trying to accept it because that's embarrassing. I had already told the guy, I'm gonna buy the car tomorrow, I'm gonna pull up with my car. And my entire being wanted that to happen. So anyways, we finally get to Miami. We get to the Walgreens. My friend parks his car. It's game time. And I turn the car on. It immediately starts smoking, as we expected. And we're like, let's drive 50 feet over to the BMW dealership. So I start driving, and then like halfway through, like 25 feet away from where we were gonna pull up at BMW, and my car gives out. It's not going anymore. I'm pressing on the gas. It's not going. You know, it's done. My car's smoking. I tell Dusty, get out, like start pushing, you know? And he's pushing. My car's heavy. You know how hard it is to push a car with just one person. I kid you not. this huge guy who just came back from the gym, like still had his gym shorts on, still had his like band, what is it called? Like a little sweatband on, like fanny pack, jogs into frame. I'm not kidding you. I'm like here driving my car, looking at my friend in my rear view mirror, pushing my car into frame, jogs into frame, Mr. Muscle Man, and just pushes my car the 25 feet into BMW. And so me wanting to show up like as discreetly as possible ended up being me showing up with a smoking car with two guys pushing it into the lot. And we stepped out and we said, we're here to buy a car. And they said that we were in the wrong spot, that sales was 2 buildings over. And so we went over there and that was that. So this is a story of what I'm trying to say is all odds were against me to get this BMW to Miami. All odds were against me, but I put in the effort. I was dedicated to it. I had a vision in mind, and the universe made it happen for me. And I know that you can think of a story, because life is crazy and we all have crazy stories. I know that you can think of a story where you wanted something and you went after it, and somehow it all came together.